The Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct is just over a month away, and while we have time before this Direct airs on April 2nd, I figured this was a better time than ever to take a look back at the Nintendo Switch library. With the Nintendo Switch being just under 8 years old, we've gotten a ton of great games on the console. But the question on my mind today is, what are the best games on the Nintendo Switch? Today, I'm going to be looking at just that, as in this video, we'll be going over the top 15 best games on the Nintendo Switch. I'm the biggest noob on YouTube, Crescendo, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel as that helps me out a ton. My goal is to try to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and your subscription can help me get one step closer to this goal. While you're at it, if you want to talk to me and others about all things Nintendo, consider joining the ChrisCore Discord server. The link is down in the description. Now with that all established, let's get into the top 15 games on the Nintendo Switch. At number 15, we got Fire Emblem Three Houses. The gameplay in this game is great. You're basically able to recruit who you want in the game, as well as keep out characters that you don't want on your team. When you're playing the game, you basically get to choose what story you play through based on the house you teach, but even though your story is chosen through picking a class, you still have the option to recruit characters from any of the houses. And on top of that, you could change your units to your liking, basically letting any character be any class that suits your playstyle. And as I've already mentioned, the story depends on the house you choose, essentially giving you a different experience every time you play the game. There's a ton of plot twists throughout your journey that can be really dark, and this helps heighten the story of the game. And don't get me started on the art style. The art style in Fire Emblem Three Houses is amazing. And despite having 3D CG characters in an anime-like art style, which is a style that people don't usually like, they did a fantastic job with the character design. The music in this game as well is great, with there being a soundtrack that's full of tracks that just absolutely slap. All around, Fire Emblem Three Houses is a phenomenal RPG, and I think it's worthy of being included amongst the best Nintendo Switch games. Up next at number 14, we got Splatoon 3. When it came to Splatoon 3, they basically took Splatoon 2, which was already a great game, and added a ton on top of it. And even though I suck at the gameplay is a ton of fun. There's a ton of things for you to be able to do in the game, with there being a ton of side modes to play on top of the normal Turf Wars mode. All in all, the game is just all around a blast. Whether you're playing by yourself or a group of friends, it's always a good time, and I think it's worthy of being in the top 15 best Switch games. At number 13, we got Metroid Dread. I'm not huge into the Metroidvania game genre, but this game was nothing but amazing. The movement of the game is super fluid and responsive, and you always feel like you're in control. The abilities you unlock as well as you progress through the game make the movement even better. And the level design is great, with rooms being well crafted and incorporating Samus's moveset well. The game also establishes its tone super well with an eerie feeling, and the enemies being a force that you can't defeat in normal circumstances leads to you being on your toes at all times when you're playing the game. Metroid Dread is one of the best games I've played in a recent year, and if this is an indicator of what's to come with the Metroid series, I'm excited for the future of this franchise. While we're on the topic of 2D games, at number 12 we got Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and this is the best 2D Mario platform in recent time. The art style and animation is great, the level design is super well crafted, and the game just feels super good to control. The Wonder Flowers are a really fun gimmick that helps every level stand out and not feel super repetitive, and badges offer a fun way of varying the gameplay each time you play the game. All around, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is a super good 2D platformer, and it was such a fresh air for the franchise after getting nothing but new Super Mario Bros. Games for almost 2 decades. At number 11, we got Pikmin 4. This game was infamous for being almost ready to release for almost a decade, but when it finally released, it instantly became the best Pikmin game. The game graphically is super stunning and is one of the best looking games on the Switch. This game also basically perfected the Pikmin gameplay. It took the best parts of previous Pikmin games and made them even better. All in all, this is a fantastic addition to the Switch library. It's also nice to see Pikmin fans finally get to eat after waiting for so long, and Pikmin 4 instantly went down as one of the Switch's finest games. Now starting off our top 10, we got Super Mario Party Jamboree, and this game is the definition of a really fun time. The boards are mostly well designed, especially the likes of Rainbow Galleria, which in my opinion is one of the best boards in the entire Mario Party series. The minigames are also a ton of fun, with there being a nice mix of great new and returning minigames. And the side modes, while not being as good as the main party mode, are a huge step up from those in Super Mario Party as they are way more fleshed out. And on the topic of the main Mario Party mode, this mode is just straight up super fun. It's exactly what you want from a Mario Party game, and it's so nice to finally get Mario Party gameplay this good after waiting so long for it to finally return. Honestly, I think that this is the best Mario Party game to date. There's so much great about this game, and in my opinion, it's a top 10 Nintendo Switch game. At number 9, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This game has such a great story and world building, as not only on its own does it tell an amazing story, but its connections to previous games in the series as well makes it even better in that regard. And the combat, while not fully being my thing, is still nothing but the best in the Xenoblade series. Party members are super helpful in combat, and it just feels really good to pull off specific attacks properly. And this game is also one of the best looking games on the Switch by far. The art style also really helps, as it doesn't go for a realistic look, but more of an anime-esque style that contrasts super well with the world the characters live in. And of course, the music is also great. The Xenoblade series has some really great tracks, and when it comes to this game, there's no exception. From amazing overworld tracks to intense battle themes, this game's soundtrack is nothing short of peak. All around, this is a phenomenal RPG on the Switch. I'm honestly not surprised it was a Game of the Year contender in 2022, because this game was definitely worthy of being a nominee with just how good it was. Up next at number 8, we got Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Usually first 3D games for a series are kind of rough, but Kirby had an excellent jump to 3D. The levels in Forgotten Land are both linear and both explorative, leading to an adventure that has both a clear end goal, but it also allows you to experiment and explore your surroundings. And the story, while not being super deep, was still pretty damn good for a Kirby game, with it keeping you invested as you play through the game. The soundtrack is also phenomenal. There's some really catchy upbeat tunes, as well as some more intense ones when the game needs them. Overall, when I first played and beat this game, I instantly fell in love with it and feels a contender for one of the best games on the Switch. Number 7 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. This game came out at such a perfect time. It released right before the pandemic, and it made for a perfect pandemic game, which led to it being the second best-selling game on the Switch. The gameplay in New Horizons takes a different approach from previous Animal Crossing games, where instead of making your life in an already established town, you're starting from scratch and making your own island, which allows for more expression and creativity compared to previous games in the franchise. And while at launch, some features from previous Animal Crossing games weren't present, as they updated the game, they continued adding more and more content, making this Animal Crossing game the most to do in it, and the best Animal Crossing game to date. Just shy of the top 5, at number 6, we got Super Mario Odyssey. After many years, Super Mario Odyssey was the return of sandbox 3D Mario that fans were asking for since Mario Sunshine. And Mario's movement in this game is by far the best in the series. And with the addition of Cabby to his moveset, at least him being able to do some crazy moves that he wouldn't be able to otherwise. And there are some very creative world types in here, like the Metro Kingdom and Luncheon Kingdom being themes we haven't seen in the Mario series before, and even the themes we have seen before like the Sand Kingdom are still different and unique enough to offer something new. This game is all around a masterclass in 3D platforming. There's plenty to do in exploring this Mario adventure, and it seems like no matter how many times you come back to it, there's always something to go for, whether it's 100% completion by getting the insane number of moons, or going for every costume that costs thousands of coins. We now enter the top 5 with our first game, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This may be a hot take, but I really enjoyed 3D World plus Bowser's Fury over Odyssey. 3D World offers well-crafted linear levels that are a ton of fun to find the collectibles in, and playing this game with friends is a blast. You'll be playing through the game working together, but you can still mess with your friends by throwing them off the edges of levels, and there's also a sense of competitiveness thanks to the crown awarded at the end of every level to who gets the most points. And Bowser's Fury, while short, is an excellent additional campaign on top of 3D World. It takes place on a small open world island, where each section has different challenges for you to complete, and I think that Fury Bowser is a really fun gimmick in the game. He'll randomly show up and cause chaos, and this leads to you being more strategic in your playstyle when he's around. This game is just a blast all the way through, and on top of that, you basically get 2 games for the price of 1, doubling the value of the package and making it even more worthy of being on this list and in the top 5. At number 4, we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and this game was revolutionary as it basically redefined what an open world game could be. Because of Breath of the Wild, the genre exploded in popularity, with there being many games that would copy Breath of the Wild's formula. This game basically allows you to make your own adventure. There is a story to the game, but after the tutorial, the world is fully open for you to do absolutely whatever you want in it. Breath of the Wild is basically the defining game for the Switch. Not only was it a launch title for the console, but it truly was a showcase of how creative and innovative Nintendo was going to be in this generation, and it kicked off this generation for Nintendo really strong. At number 3, we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yes, this is a port of Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U, but at this point, this game is so much more than just a port. Right off the bat, the game offered new content at launch with a new and improved battle mode compared to 8's trash one, with it also adding a bunch of different options for different battle mode types to play. The gameplay of this Mario Kart game is by far the best in the series. Many may argue Wii is because of bias, but you can't deny that 8 Deluxe is by far the most polished and balanced a Mario Kart game has ever been. And the Booster Course Pass doubled the amount of content in the game, taking its already large roster of 48 tracks to 96. While some of the tracks in the Booster Course Pass kinda suck, as a whole the package was phenomenal, and the inclusion of new characters and Mii costumes as well made this DLC even better. At this point, with how great of a Mario Kart game this is, and with how much content it offers, I'd be surprised if someone were to not consider this as one of the Switch's best games. And just shy of being the best Switch game, we have number 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There's no denying that Smash Ultimate is one of the best games on the Switch. This is a celebration of gaming, this is gaming the video game. The game has an insane amount of content. There's over 100 stages, 89 playable characters, over 1,000 songs, 1,200 spirits, just the amount of content alone is crazy. And the DLC phase of this game was also a ton of fun to follow. Whether it's screaming my head off in joy when Steve was revealed, or Sans being a Mii costume, or cursing at my screen because of another Fire Emblem rep with Byleth, or the lame character that is Min Min. Just the memories of following this hype cycle was one to remember, and it's evident that the DLC helped this game be as big as it ended up being. I really suck at this game, and even though I haven't played it much since the DLC finished, I'd be wrong to say this game is not one of the best ever. It'd be almost impossible for the next Smash game to top this, and I really hope they don't try to do that with the next one, and instead take this series in a new direction. And now it's time to answer the question of what's the best Switch game ever. I think it comes to no surprise, but the best game on the Nintendo Switch has to be The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Take what it said about Breath of the Wild, where it was a revolutionary game that defined a whole genre of games to come, expand on that heavily, and you get what is arguably the best Switch game, the best best Nintendo game, Tears of the Kingdom. The world has been tripled in size with this game, as on top of the mainland Hyrule, you now have the Sky Islands and the depths, adding even more for you to explore in the game. And the innovation in this game goes insane. You were already able to kind of do whatever you wanted to an extent in Breath of the Wild, but in Tears you can now do so much more thanks to the game's abilities. You can fuse your weapons with almost any material to make them even stronger to have special abilities, and you can also create machines and vehicles thanks to the fuse ability. This game is just insane with how much it offers. You can basically play this game forever and still come up with something new that you haven't done yet with just how much there is. Because of the scale of this game, how well it's designed, and just in general how much of a masterpiece it is, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will forever be the best game on the Nintendo Switch. And that is, in my opinion, the 15 best games on the Nintendo Switch. Are you mad that I didn't include Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle on this list, even though that's the best Mario RPG ever? Let me know my picks suck down in the comments, and while you're at it, let me know what Switch games you think are the best. Honestly, it still feels unreal that the Switch generation is almost over. After following this console for the last 8 years, it really is going to feel strange when we get into the next generation for Nintendo. Now that I've covered the top 15 best games on the Switch, if you're interested in seeing what I think are the worst games on the Switch, make sure to let me know and I'll make that video happen. With that being said though, that's it for this one, but if you want to see another video by me, there's a video on screen now where I predict the side modes of the next Mario Kart game, and I think you'll enjoy it. I'm the biggest nub on YouTube, Crescendo, signing off, and goodbye, Nub Nation.